kind of moderating this panel. This is on environmental issues. I've got a screen printer, a government person, and a chemical guy. Okay, so between the three of them, I'm sure they'll be able to just enhance all of your knowledge on all of the issues that are concerning us today. And I lost track of them. Where's John? There you go. So John is going to kick it off, and then I'm going to let the two of you guys figure out who goes next. Introduce yourself. Go for it.
I think I'm too tall for this microphone. Can I hold this? Not really. Okay, I'll lean or shrink. So, good afternoon. My presentation is going to be pretty short today, and we just had a consultation, quite a different perspective than the two colleagues after me. We've got a manufacturer of chemicals for our industry, and we've got from SGIA talking about the compliance issues at the regulatory government level and industry level. I'm talking as a business owner who is out there producing things, trying to win customers and trying to make money in the business. And I would like to talk about how we're starting to think about environmental issues and compliance issues as actually a competitive advantage for our business going forward. So we don't look at it from the negative sense that this is additional cost and this is kind of a trouble. This is actually a huge opportunity if you begin to understand the complexities of this overall topic of compliance. So just to introduce myself, my name is John Lynch. My company is called Linka, and we're one of the larger decorators and suppliers of promotional and sportswear in Central Eastern Europe, but we supply clients all over Europe. We do have a large screen print operation where we're using chemicals and materials and have environmental impacts, so we're very much in the arena of this topic. I pulled a slide from Linka's general presentation that we make to clients every single day. In the third slide, we say to customers, we're clean, efficient, compliant manufacturing. So before this seminar happens, we've been telling clients for a long time now that we're clean, compliant, and those are important issues for years now to many clients. This is the next slide in that same presentation. It was not prepared for today. This is what we as a business talk to our customers about. It's about being health and safety. We do work for Coca-Cola, for Nike, for Oakley, who all come to the factory, do audits, and verify that we are clean and safe and compliant in order to be partners with global brands like those. Environmental and recycling, equipment workstation, how you treat your employees. So we say it's safe, clean, and increasingly green. I think we in particular have a long way to go on the green end, but we are making steps in that direction. So the issue for business people in the industry is, does compliance, and I lopped in there this corporate social responsibility, CSR, does it really matter? Is this really a topic? I thought 5 years ago, because I think it got kind of trendy about 5 to 7 years ago, that everybody was writing about corporate social responsibility. I was kind of a traditionalist. Business is in the business of making products, providing services, making money, not being corporate responsible. As time has gone on, it's becoming more and more evident that business and government and community are working together. So corporate social responsibility is more than just a buzzword than it was, let's say, 10 years ago. Well, everybody read these headlines. Hundreds of people killed in a factory in Bangladesh. Suddenly, thousands of companies around the world are asking themselves, are we making stuff in Bangladesh? Are our products coming from there? Your customers are asking, where's your product coming from? We're being made in that factory? I think the whole compliance issue maybe even kicked off with Nike 25 years ago when Nike decided it wanted to control its manufacturing. Even if it's outsourced manufacturing, it is responsible for its brand and its behavior, and started taking measures to make sure that a company can't say, well, we're just outsourcing it, that's not our responsibility. So I had so many calls and so many discussions with customers about this issue in the last several weeks that it really is a very pertinent issue. If you're a clothing manufacturer or you have a brand, absolutely critical issue. And if you're somewhere in the distribution chain, your customers also want to know, where are you making your stuff? Is it safe? So my thesis is that compliance and corporate social responsibility can actually be a competitive advantage in your business. My company's in Poland. We supply customers in 22 European countries. To a greater and lesser extent, customers are asking more and more about these issues. Particularly in Scandinavia, for a long time, heavy interest in green and environmentally friendly. Germany, very much so. Was to a lesser extent in some of the southern countries, but it is overall in Europe, because it is the European Union, an overall important issue in our industry. I picked a couple companies out that we work with and I've worked with that we know from experience are extremely interested in compliance, environmentally friendly, corporate social responsibility. One I didn't put up here, we recently had an audit. If you have a business that wants to supply to global companies like this, they're going to come visit you. They're going to send a team of people. We had our friends from Nike visit us over a year ago. They sent a team of 5 people for 5 days. They test everything in your factory. They interview your employees. They look at your bathrooms, your chemicals, your waste, your air. And at the end, maybe you get the seal of approval to become a qualified approved supplier. But it's not that easy. Generally, you get a report at the end that says you have to fix this, 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 and this before you can start to work for us. We had an audit about 3 weeks ago with another global brand, a global company, and their primary interest was the corporate social responsibility side. They said, the chemicals, you're in Poland, we know it's a modern factory, you treat your employees well. We're mostly interested is Lincoln a good corporate citizen? Do you help little kids? If there's a flood, do you donate things? Do you get involved in your community? And we documented all the things, we weren't thinking about it that way, but we started documenting all the good things we do as a company, which we just did it because it was a nice thing to do. It turns out that potential clients actually want to see a track record for that. They want you to prove to them that you're a good corporate citizen. So the spheres of compliance, which I will not get into in a technical way, but I think my colleagues will talk about more. How I look at it are, and there's a lot of overlap between them. On the employee side, having shown the Bangladeshi factory, safe and health, work condition, child labor, compensation, are your people working too many hours? Are they getting paid overtime? Is their locker room clean? All of these issues were specifically audited by many of the companies we work for. On the environment side, it's a huge topic. The whole speech today could be just about the environment side, so there's a lot being done and said about environment issues in, let's say, screen printing in particular. I would tell you our example is we set up the business in Poland in 1992, and Poland was not a part of the European Union. There were very few or no regulations on industrial waste. So technically, you could pour everything from your factory down the drain, and you were not breaking any laws. Now, at that time, already in Europe, there were technologies being developed to clean industrial waste for the screen printing industry that were being sold, particularly some Scandinavian companies. And we bought the equipment before it was legally required because we just felt it was a good thing to do. It didn't cost all that much, and we knew that eventually Poland would become a part of the European Union and these issues would be relevant. So legally compliance, green, and carbon footprints. We at my business are nowhere in carbon footprint analysis and discussions, but we know it's coming, and we know other companies in the industry who are very concentrated on carbon footprint issues for building new factories and efficient new factories. On the legal compliance, and some of this material I've gathered from RAP standards, if you know WRAP, RAP certification. We've just gone through the RAP certification process, and they have 12 principles, which I'll show in a second. But they have issues like security, and are you doing, Are you ensuring that your activity isn't somehow supporting terrorist activity? We make t-shirts, and we somehow are responsible for thinking about implications of those issues in our business, if we want to get that level of certification. And then finally, this corporate social responsibility, the soft part of being a good citizen, charitable, helping the community also. So, just 2 more slides and I'll wrap up. There are many third-party standards and organizations that are doing various types of compliance. What the global clients are looking for is not either they come visit you themselves and do a compliance audit themselves, which is quite expensive for a week to test various aspects of your business, or they're looking if you have third-party certification from others. There are many organizations. I am not an expert on the topic. I think we'll hear more about that later in the presentation. But here's just a few that companies in our industry can be somehow involved with or get certification from. One in particular we are working towards is RAP, for our part of it. And RAP has a long list of certification issues, and they've got an application that's about 100 pages long. It takes weeks to fill in. And then they send an audit team to say, this factory is clean, safe, no children, etc., etc. And we can then show that to the world. Not just we ourselves say we're clean, safe, etc., but a third party has now endorsed us in that way. So that, I think for small, medium enterprises, it's quite a hurdle. It's a lot of work to get this certification. It's not that tremendously expensive, but it does take a lot of effort to get this. But later, I think it will pay off in the communication to potential customers of having an independent benchmark of ourselves. REACH, for instance, Ecotex, which people know about, BSCI. And this is just, I just put this as an example. I was looking through our application that we just sent not long ago. These are the issues that one must prove you're compliant in if you would like to have, for instance, RAP certification, which is particular to the textile industry. So compliance with laws and workplace regulations of the particular country that you do business in, prohibition of forced labor, child labor, harassment and abuse, compensation, benefits, hours of work, prohibition of discrimination, health and safety, all the way down to customs, compliance, and security. So it's a quite long list of things. It's actually a lot of work you have to do. You may think you have a clean, safe, green factory, and when you go through the process, you find out you have an awful lot of work to do to get to that level. And then they, at any point, can come through and do a recertification and validation that you're really keeping up the standard. So not go for it, but go do it. We think it's a direction for the industry for the future, and we will definitely be focusing on this in both our marketing communication as well as our internal procedures going forward. So thank you very much.